And then I was watching him. He wrapped his hand like a boxer. He's moving around. I'm like, oh, he like looks like he boxed. I wonder if he could kick. He starts throwing kicks, and I'm like, oh, so it was TJ Dillashaw. And I was like, oh, okay. And then it dawned on me, I'm old, and this dude's the new era of it because he's looking at, and then it turned into a bigger thing. He told the guys in the house that everybody was upset with him, and they're like, hey, dude. So we kind of took him apart from the team for a while and had him train with me. And he was like, yeah, I told him I didn't want to fight this guy for $5,000 on the show when I could go fight him in UFC for 50. And I'm like, oh, he went to college. He's a businessman. He's doing this to like propel his career.
Smart.
And he's being very smart about it financially. Not only is he like, so I was like, oh, and I was like, okay, this is a whole new era. So back to your it's a different era. So these guys are all probably kind of that mindset of like, I'm going to be that guy, right? Everyone thinks they're going to be like, I'm going to be a YouTube guy. They can be if they get a platform and they're exciting.
You know, I think back in our day when we was,
I know, right? He keeps saying old days. I'm just like, oh no, this happens.
I know, man.
Not old, but maybe
Father Time.
Yeah, no, bro.
Father Time.
Experienced.
Back when we was coming up and training and stuff like that, social media wasn't a big thing, right?
Yeah.
So we all like helped each other, and nobody was really famous. Tito was like the most famous guy around, but it still wasn't like fame like it is now, right? So I think now people, social media and people getting famous, say if you and I was training together and you was getting more famous than me on social media, I could probably get jealous of you a little bit.
Yeah, right.
And I think that's what's going on a little bit right now.
Yeah, but they want to, you get to a fight camp and before you make it anywhere, you're one of the guys in a camp. And then it's like more targeted of like, this is this guy's camp and he wants a lefty. He needs a guy who's left-handed. Oh, I need a guy who's long. So you're that guy. And then all of a sudden you're getting in big shows, you're making big wins, you're making good money. And all of a sudden you're like, hey, I want my camp to be about me. So now you're picking, and I've done both of those. You just gotta be really careful because you're not right now. You're just handpicking all the dudes and like, okay. So having a good coach that's going to be able to help you manage that and understand like, hey dude, and listen to you too. Hey, how you feeling? Yeah. Did you do strength and conditioning today? Because if you did, we're not sparring today because otherwise you can't pour from an empty cup. Your nervous system's going to be shot. And you're probably going to get sick, and feel like shit. But that was like crazy talk back then. Everyone wanted to do their own thing. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. He's do this. And it's like, hey, bro, the only person who's going to get smashed on this is the fighter, is the athlete.